What's up, everybody? Today is Sunday, October 26th, and this is episode 9 of Breaking Ancient News. We are super excited. We've got a loaded list of topics today, and a ton of stuff's been happening in the realm of ancient history. But first, I want to introduce all of our co-hosts today. We are first joined by Dave Floyd, co-host of Mike and Dave's Multiverse and a fan of all things ancient history. How are you doing today, Dave?
What's up, guys? What's up, everyone? What's up, Breaking Ancient News fans? I might be giving away a ticket to the Quest for Ancient Civilization conference later today, so stay tuned.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Cody McDonald, of course, from East 10 Outpost. He's a storyteller and explorer and the host of said outpost. Cody, thanks for joining us as always.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Glad to be here today, and glad that we've got Mike joining us, so going to be a great show today.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody. Myself, I'm happy to be here. My name's Aaron Hines, of course. I'm over at the Megalithic Mystery, and I'm an explorer that's been traveling the world documenting ancient sites and the lost Ice Age civilization or the possibility thereof. But we are super excited to have our second guest and one of our most anticipated guests for all of us. Of all the names out there we could have gotten, this guy is one of the best and one of the premier people in the space. We are super excited to be joined by Michael Collins, also known as the Wandering Wolf. He is a tour guide, conference host, explorer, and generally recognized as an all-around nice guy. Thanks so much for joining us, Michael.
Hey guys. Man, thank you so much. What an introduction. That was awesome. Thank you. And it is a pleasure to be here with you guys. I've been looking forward to catching up with you guys. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody in person. Like a month away. I get to shake all your hands here eventually pretty soon.
That's
Absolutely.
wild. Is it a month away?
It's getting
a little
close,
over a
man.
month, month and a week or so. It's going to be super fun. We've got a loaded list of topics to get into. Quest for Ancient Civilizations is going to be one of them. Thanks so much, Michael, again, for joining us. But before we dive in, let me just run through the list of everything so everybody can know what to expect on this jam-packed show of Breaking Ancient News. First, we want to talk about Michael Button's new video, which is also related to Uncharted X's new video, Ben Van Kerkwyk, some of the recent satellite scans of the things underneath the Egyptian plateau there. Dave's going to be bringing us William Henry of Ancient Apocalypse. He hypes up Quest for Ancient Civilizations. Again, we're talking about Quest for Ancient Civilizations. It is the premier event. I have not seen such a star-studded lineup in any one of these Ancient Civ conferences until this event. So we're super excited to talk about that. Dave, of course, is going to share what's happening on the latest of Mike and Dave's Multiverse. Cody's going to catch us up on the latest episode that he dropped over there at East 10 Outpost, which is just in time for Halloween, and it is a fantastic story. I thoroughly enjoyed it, personally. Over at the Megalithic Mystery, I've been dropping 2 new ancient exploration videos every single week, so we're going to get a little preview of those ones last time. Cody is going to be introducing us to the Y-Files recap. Had some interesting time travel stuff going on that relates to what we're doing. And Dave is going to be telling us about Pillars of the Past. Raul over there has been exploring some awesome megaliths in Peru. There we go, Peru. And then, something we always want to talk about. We always want to talk about Graham Hancock. He went on a new podcast. I'm sure you guys haven't heard of it. It's called London Real or London Real. There's a lot of subscribers, but, I don't think they hit the American audience as much. Cody's going to give us some wartime stories. Dave's going to cover Atlantis, possibly found with Michael Donnellan's progress. We've got some more internet drama, some Moundlore versus Jimmy Corsetti, and then a few quick hitters. And of course, we're going to end things off with our comment contest. I know you guys don't forget, but every single week, just as a reminder, once this episode posts, I know there's live chats happening right now, but once this episode posts, you're going to have a chance to drop a comment. The number 1 comment wins this free hat. I'm going to ship it to you anywhere in the world. No matter where you are, I've had to ship one to Scotland, to England, to Canada, and they are hitting us with tariffs, but I'm still going to hit you with these hats. Don't worry about it.
And shout out to the last dude. I forget his name. Is it Flooded Temples?
Robert Measures. Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, he posted a picture. Looked great.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can pull the picture of that if we can. I'll see if we can grab it at the end here. It does look great, and we're super excited for that. Wonderful. Well, let's get into the first topic here. everybody. This is our featured topic. Sam, if you could pull up for us 2B, the link there for Michael Button. So a few weeks ago, or I should say a few months ago, Ben Van Kerkwyk had a video posted called "The Unknown Ancient Site Said to Be Greater Than the Pyramids Confirmed with Satellite Scans." Michael Button just did, it was like a 2-hour podcast that Ben did. Michael Button just posted like a 13-minute video covering the highlights of it, and Michael Button is really, really great at getting things down to brass tacks and detail. So let's watch this video and then dive right in.
Sensing company called Merlin Burrows teamed up with Tim Akers, a satellite imaging specialist formerly of the UK military, to apply advanced satellite scanning techniques at the site. Starting around 2015, Akers began analysing high-resolution multispectral satellite data of the Hawara region, and what Akers and Merlin Burrows reported is extraordinary. The scans revealed complex subsurface anomalies across the entire labyrinth area. According to their analysis, the labyrinth complex extends across 4 or 5 distinct underground levels, essentially multiple stacked layers of structure beneath the desert floor. Each level appeared to be separated by many meters of sand or rock, almost like an ancient multi-story building. The imagery showed regular patterns that Akers interpreted as colonnaded halls and chambers, some very large in scale. In total, the footprint of these features was gigantic, equivalent to about 10 football fields placed side by side. If accurate, that fits well with Petrie's measured foundation and sensing company called Merlin Burrows, teamed up with Tim Akers.
Pretty incredible.
So sorry about that, guys. I had to adjust my camera real quick. We still good here?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So now I want to talk about this, give you guys a little bit more context before I ask you a question about this here, because Michael Button in that video, which he goes into great detail, I can't recommend enough, but he talks about different people that have visited Egypt, both Plato, Herodotus, and a few other scholars that have talked about this Egyptian labyrinth they described that was, they said, as massive and as impressive as the pyramid complex. And multiple people throughout the generations have said this and described this, yet it hasn't been found, much like the lost city of Troy, or shall we say Atlantis. But they talk about this labyrinth, and now it shows that these satellite scans are lending credence to that idea. Are you guys familiar with this
Oh, yeah.
labyrinth? Cody, let's tell me about what you know about the labyrinth there.
Well, so years ago, it might have been during Petrie's time, they had found what they thought would have been the floor of it, but it turns out now that's actually just the roof of it. So I think the possibility that we haven't even, permeated into the area that is the labyrinth in any sort of modern time is pretty likely, and honestly exciting. I'd love to see, camera crews get down there and see what it's actually like, because the way it's described by the past historians is pretty awe-inspiring.
Yeah. Now, Mike, I know you've been on a lot of tours all over the world and visited a lot of places in person, something a lot of us have not had the opportunity to do as of yet. So what's your take on some of this Egypt stuff? And are you familiar with the ancient labyrinth that's supposedly over there?
Yeah, I think Plato talked about it being a massive complex underground that he visited himself. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Did he write about? Do you guys know?
Yeah, he did.
Getting
Yeah, he wrote
lost
about
in
it.
there. Yeah, it was so massive he was getting lost in there and turned around or something like that, if I remember right. Egypt, I think, is, you have a couple nuts to crack with Egypt. First, it's finding anything that you might be looking into, like this site here, but then jumping through the hurdles of getting access to it through the modern government and the systems that are in place that basically kind of, for lack of a better term, or gatekeep in terms of releasing information. It can be real hard to get to keep the ball rolling, so to speak. But it's interesting. I'll be over there next month, less than a month. I'll be over in Egypt, and I will have a bit of time over there to explore a little bit outside the tour that I'm doing. And so that would be really something. I might have to pin that on the to-do thing and might just pop over there, because one of the other interesting things about Egypt is you can do almost anything over there if you have money.
Yes.
All you have to do is just give
Grease
people
the
money,
wheel.
and they will let you in almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Access is for sale.
Access is for sale for sure.
That's
mean,
how it seemed.
The number one industry in Egypt is tourism. That's the number one export. So
Yep.
yeah, everyone's there to make money. That's how you make money, is people coming in and paying for stuff. That is really cool. Hey, Mike, quick question so we can do a little plug here. Are there any open spots on that tour?
You know what? We had one open up, but we're too close now. I don't think because we're less than a month out. It's basically closed.
Dang.
Unfortunately, I asked about that because the spot opened up like 2 weeks ago, and we couldn't fill it, unfortunately, which is crazy because it's a 40-person tour. We actually maxed out this tour. It's a big one.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah,
Where
That's
can
huge.
people
That's
stay tuned for your next tour, though?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike offers some of the best tours in the region, highly, highly reviewed. Not the region, the world. He goes all over the place, and definitely check out one of Michael Collins' tours. Do you have any other ones coming up other than or past the some of the conference events that we have going on here?
Yeah, actually, literally today is our launch day for it. It's live now. Japan
awesome.
tour.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, to Japan.
Hey Sam, would you go to Wandering Wolf Events or WanderingWolfProductions.com and pull up the tour page? See if we can get a shot of that here.
Japan in May. So it's a megalithic tour in Japan with evening nightlife type cultural experiences. And then there's add-on stuff as well. Doing that one with Nerdrotics and the Forbidden Frontier crew. We've had a pretty awesome thing going with Peru, Egypt, now Japan. We'll be launching another tour for the end of 2026. And Japan's going to be amazing. I've been to
that
Japan.
is awesome. When are you guys going there in Japan?
Where?
You said May. No, you said May, right?
Oh, May. Yeah, May.
On May 24th.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's crazy. We've got an unofficial expedition planned in May as well over to Japan, where we're going to be. It'll be early May, but going around about 2 weeks, visiting a whole bunch of castles, and then diving at the Yonaguni ruins.
Okay, I was going to
cap
ask.
off the trip.
You had sent me an invite a while back, and that didn't work out before. I'm glad to hear that you're doing it now. I'm really excited for you guys. When you're going to be over there the same time I'm there?
We haven't figured out exact dates, but it's end of April, early May is the time frame for us. So,
Amazing.
Right around the same time.
Well, hats off to
figure
you.
Something out and coordinate. But
the scuba diving is one of my least favorite things to do in the world. I don't know. I'll jump out of a plane. There's a lot of other stuff to do, and it's not like I won't scuba dive, but scuba diving is by far my least favorite thing to do. That and cave diving.
Keep me out of caves. Keep me out of caves. But, that's great. Well, yeah, check out that. As I always forget to say this at the top of the show, but anything that we talk about, we're going to get the links down in the description. So anybody that's watching, if you have questions about any of this stuff, shoot down in the description after the video. You can pull up everything, or just don't be stupid and use Google. Figure it out, guys. Wandering Wolf, he's on there. So, but on to that, after we're done insulting our audience here, I want to pull up the first topic here, because we always love to feature, of course, our own stuff, because that's what we're here for, right? But
it's good
let's
stuff,
pass it over.
To be fair.
It's great stuff. It is the most underrated content probably on YouTube, possibly all of the internet.
Yes.
But anyways, let's kick it over to Dave. Dave's got a ton of guests over there on Mike and Dave's Multiverse. He is got a star-studded stellar lineup. There we go for some alliteration. Star-studded stellar lineup over at Mike and Dave's Multiverse. Mike, what do you got? Dave, what do you got going on for us?
Hey guys, so we dropped our first episode of what we're calling Spotlight on Scottsdale. We got the chance to talk to a handful of the speakers from the event. This is just a little, these are two back-to-back clips, so it's going to be 2 minutes of William Henry of Ancient Aliens, the man himself, hyping up the conference. And this guy just you pull strings on this guy and he just hypes, man. He's like a hype man. So it was really fun to talk to him, and it was a real honor to talk to him as well. I did want to mention though about the labyrinth. The dude that helped him interpret all that Plato stuff, we're going to be featuring him later on in the show because he also mentored Michael Donnellan in his project to study Atlantis off of Cadiz. So I just wanted to say that. Just a little teaser for later. But this is William Henry of Ancient Aliens, Let It Fly.
I've known Robert Dakota, gosh, for 15 years. He's brought me out to Sedona for all those years doing private events. I've participated in a number of his ancient civilizations themed conferences as well. He always does a super job with his events, and he himself is such a great seeker too, and that kind of distinguishes him sometimes from other conference promoters. They're promoters, and they have an interest in this field, but Robert is actually both. He has a deep interest, deep background in it, and makes a really big difference when the person running the event has like a personal interest in the subject.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And I know Michael Collins has a really strong interest in the subject. So what do you think of the two of them kind of coming together and putting on these events? Because we're going to Sedona next, I believe.
Right. I think it's awesome. I've known Robert.
Hit the next one. Just play them back to back.
Spin that record, producer Sam.
But it sure was fun to talk to him, I must say.
Yeah, he's a character.
He went deep, like on all the hits. I just clipped him talking about the event.
We started this really with the Graham Hancock event last April in Sedona that Robert had promoted, and it had such a phenomenal response that they just decided they'd kind of team up together and keep this resonance going that they've got happening. I mean, there's so much interest right now in so many of the questions that will be addressed at the conference, everything from consciousness to Göbekli Tepe to even Three Eye Atlas. We'll know what's happening with that by then. So there's so many exciting things that are kind of on the horizon right now, and people just want to gather. They want to be with like-minded people. They want to be face to face with some of their favorite presenters. You know, they might have been seeing them on YouTube or something like that, but it's a whole different level of understanding, really, when you meet them in person.
And you can cut it. And I just wanted to play that because it was really fun hearing him hype up the event and kind of pass it off to Mike to talk about the event a little bit as well. But I agree with William 100%. It's my favorite thing is connecting with like-minded people, walking into an episode of your favorite podcast. It feels like half the time, you're sitting there, you're watching the event with people who you watch on YouTube or you watch in documentaries and stuff like that. And it's really cool. And one of my favorite things about this one that's going to be a little bit different is that you're going to have sort of the sideline reporting thing going for the people who are watching virtually, right? And so I'm super pumped. How excited are you, Mike?
Oh, very excited. This is, I mean, the cool thing about doing these conferences is it's such an opportunity for people, like was just said, to come together and really help build the community, which I think we need now more than ever. And I think this younger generation, not just the younger generation, obviously everyone, but I do feel like it's definitely kind of more of a focus of, the younger generations where I feel like I'm kind of a bridge to, like older, younger, I'm pulling up on 50 here. So, there's this understanding of how important collaboration is, and collaborating with other creators. I think there's the mindset of competitiveness is starting to like disappear, and people are embracing this idea of collaboration. That we're starting to get a glimpse of really, of just how big the pie is. And there's more than enough for everybody, right? Everybody can eat until they're stuffed, because it just seems like every week there's new discoveries happening. If you're paying attention, it's an exciting time right now to be in this space, and it's not going to end. The level of detail, and you have such a wide variety of people who a lot of times are just, like myself, explorers who want to document everything and share it with people, and then others who really love to dig into the details. And by collaborating together and building that community, you're really pulling on all the strengths within each person individually to come together as a whole. So being a part of this event, and I'm getting rather long-winded here, is exciting and challenging, and I love a good challenge. This is the first event that I've ever done, and it's come with all kinds of challenges, but it's been amazing. And what an opportunity to stretch and grow, and then be surrounded. I mean, God, look at the lineup. How lucky, I feel so lucky to be sharing the stage with some of these guys. It's,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome. And I really can't wait. One of the coolest things about participating in any kind of event like this is meeting people, getting to shake people's hands and connecting. And so I look forward to doing that myself, and also seeing that happen all around us. And you guys are, contributing to that as well at the end of the conference with that, with what you guys are putting on as well, like another opportunity for people to come together and connect there beyond the conference, which is really hats off to you guys. If you guys got an applause button, you should press that right now.
Well, yeah, we'll
Thank
just
you,
talk
Mike.
about that in a sec. Oh, we'll cover that in a sec. We're still figuring out the details, but what Mike's talking about is the VIP after party that we're doing, an exclusive Breaking Ancient News after party. We can get to that because, Mike, you talked about a couple of things I want to hit on before we jump away. You talked about how important collaboration is in this space, and you're absolutely correct. I mean, the two things you said. There's so much happening, and how important collaboration is, and that's like those two reasons are one of the exact reasons why we started this show. Is because we can accomplish so much more working together, because we get to feed off each other, use each other's expertise, cover each other where there's shortcomings. I mean, Cody is an expert on Mesoamerica, where I just have no idea what's going on there. We brought Sam Urban, who's North American person, on there. So this collaboration is super important. So what you're doing is truly it's a fun event, but it's also a great service to the community. Will Brown actually sent me a message after our last week's episode, because we poked a little fun at him, kind of halfway accusing him of plagiarizing me, which he didn't, by the way. Will, if you're watching, we know you did. That was just a tease.
I thought it's because we called him a I thought it's because we called him a Nephilim.
We called Aaron a Nephilim.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Will's huge too.
Yeah.
For being so large. Yeah, he's got some Nephilim genes.
But I hope not. Or geez, if I am, it's not working in my favor in any way, sadly. But Will sent me this great message, and he said he's super excited for this Quest for Ancient Civilizations conference, because none of his friends in his personal life, and I hope I'm not shouting out or putting Will on blast here, because I'm about to admit the same, but he said none of the friends in his personal life are like interested in the same stuff like we're interested in. And I'm the same way. Like, I even have like a decal or like a QR code on the the back of my truck for people to pull up my YouTube page, and I try to share it with all my friends and put it up on my Instagram page, but like nobody cares the same way that we care.
I feel it, bud.
Right.
So it's exciting to go to this conference where you could be there with people that people that give a shit about the things that
People
you care
do
about.
care, though. They do.
Yeah, turns out.
Yeah, yeah. It's just they're a little bit fewer and far between than
Just
the
not our
average
wives
person.
and friends.
So we're gonna get the collection of freaks together, and we're all gonna mingle and hang out together and make some new connections. So props to Mike. Thanks so much for bringing this together. Before, I want to have Cody say a few words about it, but before we do, I want to throw the promotion that Cody did for this up. Sam, if you could hit 4A for us, and let's take a look at this promotion. And this will also just showcase the lineup of speakers that are going on at the conference as well.
This cracked me up.
Okay, and also my Echofish plushie. Gotta bring that. Oh God, buddy, what's happening? What's happening? Well, my friends, I've come from an adjacent reality to deliver the unfortunate news that lizard people have been tampering at CERN and caused the timelines to get all jumbled up, and now AJ Gentile will no longer be able to join us at the Quest for Ancient Civilizations conference in Scottsdale, Arizona. But don't worry, because you're still about to be treated to a world-class lineup, including the likes of David H. Childress, Jimmy Corsetti, Gary Buechler, Michael Collins, Michael Button, Hugh Newman, Dan Richards, Dana Geisel, William Henry, Will Brown, J.J. Ainsworth, and a very special guest to be announced in the coming days. You're not going to want to miss your chance to see some of the world's most influential speakers in the ancient history space all live under one roof. So get your tickets now before they sell out down in the link below. But in case you're not quick enough, don't worry. There will be a chance to win some free tickets. Follow at East 10 Outpost, Mike and Dave's Multiverse, Megalithic Mysteries, and of course, Mike Collins' Wandering Wolf Productions for your chance to win your way in. But if you can't go and attend in person, don't worry. It's going to be live streamed, and that's going to be an event all to itself. So I'll see you in Scottsdale, Arizona, December 5th through the 7th for the Quest for Ancient Civilizations Conference. See you there, friends.
You're
All right.
muted. You're muted, Aaron. I think that was
Cody,
hilarious.
that was so well done. Tell us about it.
That was great.
I was dying laughing. That's why I muted myself. It was great. I was laughing out of enjoyment.
You know, I like to have a little fun with stuff. I'm a storyteller. I get to do that. So, damn lizard people got AJ, but we're going to have a hell of a time with or without him. And yeah, just keep it tuned to all of our channels, literally all 4 of us right now on your screen. Subscribe to all of us because there's going to be chances to win those tickets. And who doesn't like getting in for free? Come on.
Yeah. Plus, you should still bring your Illuminati shirt and your Hecklefish, please.
I'm still bringing. I'm gonna still be just as Illuminati as ever, even if
Good.
AJ isn't gonna be Illuminati with us. It's okay.
That's great.
We will prevail.
We do have some potential announcements coming up, hopefully this week, for some other guests. So
You heard it
honestly,
here, folks.
the card is getting better. Obviously, we'd love to have AJ,
Of course.
and him not being able to do the event ultimately, was a total bummer. We'd love to have him, but all is not lost, and the card is actually going to be getting better. So, keep an eye out on, like Cody just said, all of the channels here for announcements on that.
Yeah.
Better hit that bell notification, people. It's there for a reason.
Hit
It's
that bell.
not just aesthetics.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, Cody, why don't you just tell us what we're up to? Actually, no. Before we do that, why don't we have Dave real quick? Sam, pull us up 5A here. We're going to kick it over to Mike and Dave's Multiverse and do a quick Halloween promo that's going to tie us into Cody's channel. So for one of the places to win some of these tickets, and also, just in case you guys didn't forget, if you have any questions about this or you have any complaints, drop it down in the comments. You can win this hat if it's a good enough complaint. So, don't forget about that. But yeah, Dave, why don't we tell us about this little promo for this Halloween episode you got coming up?
Yeah, so Nick, Occult Rejects, shout out to him. He's a funny guy, but he was he was a member of the OTO. I don't even know how to say that exactly, but it was essentially like a. I'll look it up right now, but you can classify it as a cult. He's basically reformed from that. I did an interview with him. Order Templi Orientis. It's like it's a part of the part of Hermeticism and the Knights Templar. It's connected to all that stuff. But anyway, he told me some wild stories for a couple hours, and this is just a little bit of it. And he gets all fired up all the time. He's a really animated dude. So go ahead and press play. But this drops on Friday as our spooky Halloween episode. So check it out.
Just a lot of the things, I'm just going to keep it real. And this is an issue that I think is just rampant amongst this occult community and even worse in the conspiracy community. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would even go back to everything's dicks and demons. It's like, no, I don't think people are walking that fucking shape to make a dick in the fucking middle of the room. If anything, it looks like a Caduceus or some shit.
Dicks and Demons.
Yeah, and it's just
That's a band
every
name.
conspiracy theorist. Oh, Kabbalah, dicks and demons. This person, dicks and demons. It's so funny. It's just, whose dick looks like a fucking obelisk? Can you please tell me whose dick is actually shaped like an obelisk? Because nobody's dick, I'm sure, looks like that. You're gonna call it an obelisk because you don't understand science.
You can stop. So we had an animated conversation. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Nick. The episode drops on Friday. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Speaking of Halloween, let's kick it back over to you, Cody, and tell us about your spooky story that you did.
Yeah, so I last Sunday, actually, right before our last episode came out, I dropped a Headless Horseman story. And,
very well done, by the way.
Well, thank you. I've got 2 videos coming up that should be done to release on Halloween, but this one's available for your listening pleasure right now. One thing, however, is certain. The place is still under some kind of magical influence that affects people's minds, making them daydream all the time. They believe all sorts of fantastical things. Some locals have trances and visions, and some see strange things or hear music and voices in the air. The whole neighborhood is full of local stories, haunted places, and evening superstitions. Shooting stars and meteors appear more often over the valley than anywhere else, and nightmares seem to pick this spot for their wild misadventures. The most famous spirit that haunts this magical area, and seems to lead all the forces of the air, is the ghost of a rider on horseback with no head. Some say it's the spirit of a Hessian soldier whose head was blown off by a cannonball in some forgotten battle of the Revolutionary War. Country people see him now and then, rushing through the night darkness as if carried by the wind.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
Cody, tell us how many
thank you.
people on your production team?
So it's this guy right here, and then producer Sam working the board.
That's crazy.
And it's nice to meet you. That's us. That's the production team.
I was going to say, this last episode that you did is like Y-Files quality in terms of the storytelling, and at the end, how you wrap up everything too until like the actual, dude, it was fantastic. Like Y-Files quality in production. So keep up the excellent work. Follow Easton Outpost.
A little bit of a teaser. I have 2 episodes in the fold right now that should be releasing on October 31st. One's about deals with the devil, and the other is about arguably if you can expand your view of which to include her, the most famous of all time, the Oracle of Delphi. So we are going to be taking a look at 2 pumpkin spice stories right in time for Halloween.
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, check out East 10 Outpost over there on YouTube and on X and everywhere, because it's one of the greatest story channels that are out there, as well as exploration channels. But speaking of exploration channels, over at the Megalithic Mystery channel, which happens to be owned by yours truly, just as a reminder, everybody, I'm dropping 2 episodes every single week, Tuesday and Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I've visited hundreds of ancient sites all around the world. So let's give you a little bit of preview about both these sites that I went to this week's episode. Both these episodes are live. And I actually want to get your guys' thoughts on this, and I actually want to get Mike's thoughts on this. So let me go to the video first, and we can talk about this. Is at, I think, real quick, Mike, have you been to Zone X down over there in Cusco, Lanlacuyac?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Up by Sacsayhuaman, correct?
Yeah, right up above Sacsayhuaman. Okay, yeah. Hey, Sam, play the video for us, because I want to get you guys' take on this specific stone over it.
Geopolymer versus cuts. So what we have here is what it looks like. It's a giant natural boulder with cuts in it, surrounded by the megalithic blocks. So this definitely looks like the boulder itself was cut, along with the blocks beside it. Here we have another example right over here. Part of the natural landscape cut, but with the megalithic blocks. So are the megalithic blocks geopolymer, or are they cut straight from the andesite? Who knows? Let's debate.
So, Mike, there's a lot of debate about this down there. What's your take on this whole geopolymer versus natural rock that's cut or softened?
I mean, yeah. So, first of all, there's a lot of drama on I guess specifically X about the geopolymer, right? You have the crowd, the geopolymer crowd, and
They like to jump in our chat, so we
Very
welcome them.
passionate
Probably
here.
here
people.
now. They're
Yeah.
probably here
They're
now.
probably
I
here
am
now.
I am not against geopolymer. In fact,
neither.
I think there are plenty sites around the world that kind of fit the bill for absolutely being worth looking at, and a majority of those sites exist in Peru. And what you showed there, though, you know, I think, you know, you also have a really good example there at Zone X, but you have a really good example at Tambo Mache of a bedrock, and then it being shaped on the tops or cut with the rocks fitted into it as well, just like what you showed there in that video. And I think that those have less of an appearance of geopolymer type stones. So when I look at sites and I'm like instantly connected to like thinking in my head geopolymer, I'm thinking Sacsayhuaman, and places like that where you have a lot of indicators, which I've shown in videos before, of like at Sacsayhuaman you have cross hatching patterns across the stone at Sacsayhuaman. Now I was lucky enough to be there. I got caught at Sacsayhuaman during a lightning storm, but it rained on everything, and when the stone there is wet, it really brings out in good visibility the patterns that I'm talking about, this cross hatching, and it looks like stone that was poured into bags. And then as the stone was stacked, you have those indentations that you see at Sacsayhuaman a lot of times, where it looks like boards and things were pressed into it to hold it up. And at some of these places, like what you showed there at Zone X, and then at Tambo Mache, it looks more kind of carved. It doesn't have that free flowing, rounded type of a feel, like at and kind of bowed out and bubbled out type of feel, like at Sacsayhuaman. And Tambo Mache has a real good example because it has one of the fitted stones that's fitted against the bedrock. Has, I don't know where it is, but it fell over. It's not in place. So you can see how the bedrock was carved to fit the piece that was used to be stacked there. And I imagine that's what you'd find here at this site that you just showed. If you were to move one of those stones that are on top of the bedrock, you might find the same type of features, like kind of cut marks and different things like that.
That's some great
I'm
points.
in the cut
I think
camp myself.
Yeah, there's a lot of validity to the geopolymer guys. I'm in the same boat with you. I think it's like, hey, some of these sites, look like geopolymer. Some of it looks like it's potentially concrete or softened stone. And then some of it's like clearly not. But the geopolymer people like to claim that everything is, and that's where they get into hot water.
That's where I disagree. Is like, you know, and I can't. My issue there is I can't seem to have a rational conversation, because with some, I'm not saying everybody, but some of them are just take the absolute stance that literally everything on Earth that we've found is geopolymer. And that's real easy to say when you're just looking at 2D pictures, but I've been to these sites. So when you're arguing with me that something like Baalbek and the Trilithon or the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, these are geopolymer, when I have crawled underneath them and looked at them and documented up close the chisel marks and cut marks and cut away stuff, and it's still attached to the bedrock, you know, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. But you know, at the same time, there are plenty of sites around the world that absolutely fit the bill for being totally 100% worth looking into and investing that geopolymer theory. And ultimately, I'll just say this: I'm glad. I want them to keep exploring all of the things that they're doing with trying to uncover how this was done by pursuing that line of thought with geopolymer, because it's a win-win for everybody in both directions. There should be people looking at everything from all directions. So I discourage none of it, while still having my viewpoint from my experiences and my work. and still, even though I may not agree with something, 100% encourage people to continue to pursue their path because it's worthy research. You just have to be willing to if the research doesn't bear fruit, to just stand on that and admit that.
Yeah.
And vice versa if it does.
Yeah. There's lots of benefit to eliminating that as a possibility. There's huge benefit to that. I mean, because I think at the end of the day, like regardless of whether it was geopolymer or not, I think a lot of those places, I mean, the real debate should be not whether the real debate should be whether it was built by the Inca or not. And
Yes.
clearly for those of us that, at least my opinion, those of us that have been down there, you can see what this andesite and diorite cut with such precision that the Inca only had bronze chisels. You're like, hey, okay, something else is going on here. So that's what the debate should be. But, then we can get to the secondary debate of these geopolymer. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know we got a lot to cover. So thanks for your insight on that, Mike. And real quick, let's go over to, I just do a quick promo for the second video here of mine, the exclusive footage at Cochopata. Definitely, guys, come on a tour with me because when you come down there to Peru, you get to see all these sites that mostly regular tours don't take you on. So here's a little preview of Cochopata. Basically everybody, when they come on a trip to Peru to visit Machu Picchu and the other ancient sites, they stop by the site of Kenko, but they totally miss out on something right across the street. Immediately adjacent to the site of Kenko lie the ancient ruins of Cochopata. This incredible site is a fusion of natural landscapes and Incan buildings, and a must-see if you're ever in the Cusco region, though most people miss it. Today, on Ancient Explorations, I want to take you to Cochopata. Let's explore. You can stop it there, Sam. Well, that was the wrong promo, but that's all right, because the other one I had a bunch of videos in it, but I put up the wrong one. But that's all right. So visit Megalithic Mystery, come on a tour with me, and let us know down in the comments, what do you think? Geopolymer versus cut stone? Because I think that's going to be a debate that's going on for a long time until we invent a time machine and go back there. But
I just wanted to say
Dave,
quick,
let's hear it.
Aaron, you're really leveling up on those videos, man. And I appreciate guys like you and Raul of Pillars of the Past and Wandering Wolf, because I haven't seen all this stuff like up close and personal. But the next best thing is when you guys, show us these sites that people typically drive past or don't know are there or are under-discovered or are being rediscovered and things like that. So as Mike said, it's not going to stop. It's open season, right? There's so much to discover.
That's right.
So
there is a ton going on, and they're doing current excavations at Sacsayhuaman right now. I know we've talked about it in a bunch of previous episodes, but as soon as they have some more updates, we'll catch you guys up on that as well. So, cool stuff's happening in Peru. Now it's the perfect time to go on a tour. But on to the next subject here. Let's, one of our favorite channels, though he's not coming to Quest for Ancient Civilizations. We still love him. AJ, if you're watching, or if any of the production team there, because I know that you're involved with Kay, but in the production team at Y-Files, we still love you, and we want to feature some of your content on this week because it does relate to what we're doing. So what do you got for us, Cody, with the Y-Files?
Yeah, so AJ actually cranked out 2 in the last 8 days, and the first one's on CIA time travel, and Are We the Greys? Producer Sam, go ahead, pull it up.
Case, Jack saw verified military footage of a living gray alien. Not a dead body in a freezer, a living, moving being in 4K video. Jack made the connection. Over thousands of years, humans will evolve. Large brains with telepathic abilities. Eyes get larger and darker, adapted for low light. Bodies become smaller, optimized for space travel. The Greys aren't aliens from another planet. They're humans from the future. Case, Jack saw
Okay,
you see
so
Aaron's eyebrows start twitching though.
I did, and producer Sam, if you could get the clip pulled up out of the assets folder, because we know how Aaron feels about aliens on this show. So I actually caught.
How do you feel
footage.
about aliens? I don't know.
We'll show you. Go ahead, producer Sam.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
So
I need to stop leaving my camera on because crazy shit happens after the show cuts.
Last week you jumped on a motorcycle and turned into a jiu-jitsu fighter and drove off. I don't know what's going on now.
your
great.
favorite magical Nephilim, Aaron, and your misadventures will continue here on Breaking Ancient News. So,
Stay
leave
tuned,
that camera
everyone.
rolling, baby.
Stay tuned,
Love it.
everyone.
No, we love aliens and we want to talk about aliens, but we kind of like the show's breaking ancient news, so we figured, unless it's kind of tied in, there's a lot of crossover. That's the thing. There's a lot of crossover. So we
did do some history this week. It just wasn't ancient. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
Well,
great. That's great.
If
Bring
you
it
think
on.
about it, if we're going off of AJ's video and the theory presented there, then we are ancient. So anything we're talking about now is ancient because if they're coming back in time.
Bootstrap paradox. We are the greats.
Aliens.
That's true.
Our future gray selves will be watching this someday. We'll be like analyzing how civilization fell, and we'll be like, "Oh God, it was our ancestors. It's them on this show."
It was. That's great. Well, yeah, that's funny. What about the second video? What do you got there for us, Cody?
Yeah, the second one was a alternative theory on Lincoln's assassination, and it was a fun little story. There's not a lot to it. AJ always goes into his debunking afterwards, but here's kind of where the timeline diverges. Go ahead, producer Sam.
He could still breathe, but just barely. The soldiers dragged Booth out of the barn. He whispered, "Tell Mother I died for my country." By sunrise, John Wilkes Booth was dead. Justice had been served, the case was closed, and America could finally move on. But John Wilkes Booth had a secret. He could still breathe.
Okay, so yeah, that one kind of just explores, we're in the alternative history space. We constantly question the narratives of the history as it's given to us and make sure that we do our diligence to see if that's actually what was written or if it's just his story. So these were two great examples of AJ doing his diligence on a fascinating story and seeing what waits at the bottom of the well of truth. And as it turns out on those ones, not a whole lot, but they were both great stories. So last 8 days, he's been popping them out like crazy. Go check that out.
Best show on YouTube.
Yeah, Y-Files on YouTube. It's one of the best storytelling channels. I'll probably say the second best storytelling channel that we're going to talk about today. Second only to East 10 Outpost. But always great to
You can
watch
say that. I won't say that.
Always great to watch what AJ's up to. But kicking us off back to ancient civilizations, breaking ancient news. Just kidding, guys. Dave's been talking with Raul over at Pillars of the Past and showing some crazy stuff about what Raul's been up to. Why don't you catch us up to date, Dave?
Yeah, first of all, it was a pleasure talking to that guy. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a gentleman, very nice guy, very passionate about what he's doing. He just got into this like a couple of years ago and got the bug, and he went down there to Peru and didn't know. You guys have been down there, I have not. But according to him, he had a plan, and then the plan kind of went out the window because he just kept finding things. And he came back with 1.5 years worth of YouTube content of what he calls rediscovered sites. Are you guys familiar with this Purulin complex? He says there's 16 pyramidal structures here.
I'm not.
I've not. He's found some amazing stuff out there, though.
He has, and this section, I believe, is more about looting in the area, and I wanted to get your guys' feedback from the guys who have been there, but go ahead and play it, please.
So the majority of looting there's a quote. Here you can see,
man,
I mean, that was a mummy. It used to be wrapped up, and you can tell from the trash when it happened. And so the quote I was able to find was, "There's been more looting in the past 2 decades of the 20th century." So, the past 40 years. than the prior 500 years since Spanish conquest.
What?
So like, yeah, there's been, and you can tell from the trash too, because there's modern, not modern trash. You can like cigarettes that they don't make anymore, or soda bottles that they don't, or
Right.
newspapers with dates, you know, that are there at the sites.
Correct.
So it's been modern looting. I can't say that, you know, the Spanish. So the
Are you guys aware of this, as specifically related to the Nazca site or area?
I'm not. Mike?
Yeah, Will and I went down there a few years ago with Nikiana Jones also, and explored around between Nazca and up to the Band of Holes site, and there's literally just pyramids and structures everywhere. Farmland, you can just walk across farmland and there are pyramids and stuff out there along the coast. You're just driving by them and they're just not excavated. Sometimes they have signs like have been identified and they're protected, but there's nothing being done, and there's, you know, shacks on them, or farmers working them, or you know, clearing them, and the black market is huge out there. I mean, Will talks about this. There's a literal black market, like mafia in Peru. That you really have to be careful of. I'm like, they're no joke. And you know, we found skulls, we found bones and stuff as well when we were out there. It's just if you go out into that part of Peru, you just walk up on stuff that you know, locals are aware of for sure, but that's not being talked about, excavated, looked into, researched, or anything.
That's why
it's crazy.
That is wild, and that's why he called and amazing. That's why he called it rediscovered, which I like that word. Sam, if you could hit the second link, please. He kind of, I don't know, tugged at my heartstrings a little bit the way he was talking about this. This should be the second link, yeah.
And you know, do something like this, but from what I saw, a lot of it looked recent.
So
it's just, you know,
like a recent, like, so, and we're talking historical context back in, like you said, like 140 to 100 years, something along those lines.
Oh no. When I say recent, I mean 1980s, 90s, and 2000s.
Oh, like literally, like bubblegum. I'd remember bubblegum wrappers and stuff. Ouch. Yeah. Hey, see, at that point, we should have been smarter than that. But at the same time, I don't know what was going on, like in the country of Peru at the time.
So
politically or geopolitically or whatever. So
I mean, that's the other thing too. I'll just show this one thing and then I can close it up. But this was and all these videos are on YouTube.
Keep it on that though. I want that. Mike mentioned that band of holes. If you could keep it on that spot, I'd like everyone to be able to see that. But he went to that band of holes as well. Just fast forward to towards the end, and you should be able to find it. Yeah, keep going, keep fast forwarding. There you go. So there's like 8 kilometers of like holes, right, Mike? Or something like that. And each one of them's a grave or something, or attempt to grave dig.
Yeah, so they're holes. I've got to get this video up because I've been working on this theory for a couple years, and I don't think they're actual graves.
Okay.
You know, the comparison that I was making, and I put out some short videos on this and some posts just to get my theory out there, and I still need to get the video out, is potentially looking at there. You know, there was clearly like that valley that the Band of Holes is in was overdeveloped to the point of deforestation and just ruination of that area. And it looked like, you know, that would have probably at some point triggered some kind of mass exodus because they wouldn't have been able to subsist there. And so it looks like, to me, the Band of Holes area, to me, looks like a water capture system similar to what you see in the Canary Islands.
Okay.
And so what they do over in the Canary Islands, where they're have all these wineries is they dig these holes down and line them with rocks and plant in there so that the actual the plants and stuff are protected from the high winds, because it's a exact similar type of environment, dust and damage and things like that. And then because it's also a very dry climate, water collects into those holes and filters down to the bottom. And so that is something that I've been working on for the last couple of years, and I really need to get that video out. But we did find some of the bigger holes. We did find bones, but they didn't look buried. They looked like they'd been placed there. So it was like a bone pit.
Fascinating.
But that's a crazy site to visit. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Unless you go out to the Canary Islands, then it is very similar out there. The entire sides of mountains and valleys and stuff are covered with these holes that can be very similar.
I'm going to look into that. The Canary Islands. Thank you for that lead.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
So, Raul is going back to Peru for 2 weeks, actually a month now, and he's got a GoFundMe going on because he just got a lead on like a bunch of new sites, and he knows he's going to find more. And as Mike has mentioned, they're undocumented. It's not that they're undiscovered. People see them; they walk past them all day. They're in people's backyards and stuff. Just no one gives a shit. Well, Raul gives a shit, and he's going to the sites to get some really high quality footage. He's a really good storyteller. He makes really good videos. So anyway, I'm up in the ante. I was giving away 1 ticket. I'm giving away 2 tickets to the Quest for Ancient Civilization conference. We're drawing a Thursday during my live stream, $500 value. To enter, all you got to do is donate any amount at all whatsoever to Raul's GoFundMe to get entered. Pretty easy. So
that's cool.
Let's go.
Let's cool.
Get Raul the extra time and cash he needs and gear he needs to finish his trip.
If I can soapbox for a quick second, people like Raul, like Mike Collins, like Will, there's a few guys out there that are actually taking the time to document these undocumented sites. And it breaks my heart that there's so many places around the world where they are literally just being trampled into the earth or left to forgot.
Yeah.
Left to just turn back to dust. So before that happens, academia isn't going to get out to a majority of these places and do them their diligence. It is up to modern day explorers like these guys. So a couple bucks, you can piss off on a cup of coffee. You can easily throw at Raul's GoFundMe. Help exploration like that happen. That's what I got to say.
Boom.
Awesome. Great plug there, Cody. Appreciate it. We'll have the links down where you guys can donate it down in the description below.
It's good stuff.
Be a lot of fun.
Pillars of the Past, Raul GoFundMe.
Raul GoFundMe. Perfect.
Hat to you, Raul.
Yeah. Up next here, I wanted to bring something to you guys' attention because this is a little bit outside of our sphere of influence, but definitely ties into us. Graham Hancock, the OG, the godfather himself of conspiracy theories regarding ancient history, though probably not. I just coined that term.
He is in our book.
He went on a podcast called London Real. I don't know how they say it. I don't know if it's Real or Real, but
it's probably Real.
I don't watch this podcast. But it's got 2.26 million subscribers, so it's a big podcast. 4 days ago,
more of a mainstream news interview series. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so he was on there. He had some fun things to say, and this is what's the debate that's gonna, that gave us the title of this video. Let's give it a watch.
A clever way to dismiss an opponent's work is to say, oh, he's just a false example of what we really are, and just hope that people will say, oh, he's a pseudoscientist, we'll not investigate this any further. If somebody hears my name for the first time and may be remotely interested in the ideas that I put out, the very first place they're going to go is Wikipedia. I
went there this morning.
Yeah, and the Wikipedia page will announce that I'm a promoter of pseudoscientific theories.
First line.
Well, first line, right up there in the front. And so the purpose of that is to get people who might be interested in my work to switch off right away and not take it further. And it's a deliberate purpose because Wikipedia pages are generally editable, but my page is not. You can't make edits on my page. There's a team of moderators who closely control the page, and anybody who attempts to edit it, all edits are rejected. The page is locked and controlled by moderators who include archaeologists. And
John Hoops.
Clever.
Yeah. So it's absolutely crazy. But I mean, that's been a recurring theme of Graham Hancock's work since he started getting things published. And it's just, you know, the institutions themselves are so abhorrently objective to any kind of idea that would undermine their credibility or their authority. That
Heaven
they
forbid.
lock the Wikipedia page, they throw labels of racist on you or anti-Semitism on you. It's bananas. Now, Mike, you've had a chance to meet Graham Hancock. Is he this crazy racist anti-Semitic lunatic that they portray him to be in person?
No, absolutely not. You know, I consider Graham a close friend, him and his wife Santha, and you know, the attacks on him are really ridiculous, and it really speaks volumes towards the point he was just making in that video, which is you know, this attempt to discredit him, to preemptively discredit him before people have a chance to be exposed to his ideas. And it you know, it works in his favor that he's not a part of the system, because this is very similar. You know, the archaeological community in this regard, they're not afraid to train their sites on their own either.
No.
And they've ruined careers and countless times by
Ed
this
Barnhart
type of, you know,
catches
this
a
type
lot of
stuff.
flack.
Yeah, but it doesn't work on him because he's not a part of the system, right? So, which is, but it's ugly, it's vicious. By, you know, I've found myself in the crosshairs for the last year, which really I'm more than, you know, people like Graham or Jimmy or different things who, you know, are punching back. I'm really a traveler and kind of more of a travel channel that focuses on going to ancient sites and then sharing that with people.
Yeah.
So it was very odd this last year to get caught up in all that with Graham and Jimmy and different people and Dan. But, you know, to have them start coming after me as well, just for documenting something and sharing what is going on. And so it's, you know, I find it really, it was just really fascinating to see people come after me who are professors and academics in such a vicious manner, when all I'm doing is sharing it's right there. It's just footage. It's footage, and you can see for yourself that what I'm saying, I'm not making something up, right? You guys they're literally, like in the case of Göbekli Tepe, drilling massive holes into the heart of the site to put steel beams in there for the sake of tourism. So, you know, when I document and share that, it puts a bad light, and instead of taking accountability, they just start firing off things like they've been doing to Graham for decades, with the attacks and the things. So it's really it's
Really
just ugly. It's
decades.
unprofessional, and I find it really hard to believe sometimes that some of these guys, specifically some of the ones that were just named, are still have jobs. Not that I'm advocating for them to be fired or something, but it blows my mind that professional academics in positions of schooling and teaching can conduct themselves in such a way online publicly.
It drives me crazy. You hit a specific point that I want to talk about. You know, I'm a small business owner, and I get to hire who I want to hire, right? And you exactly say what you want to say, but like how you treat people matters, and that includes how you speak to people. And it's like, I don't want them to get fired, but I'm not going to have an employee of my company out in public speaking to others like that. They're not going to represent me and my business, and it stuns me that these other organizations continue to let this happen and continue to let. I mean, even to the point where they get involved in these petty squabbles on X
Outright
as a
hateful.
professional, and I'm like, geez,
Yeah.
have a little decorum.
Some of them are go beyond being unprofessional, and like you can tell when it's evening time, and they're probably saucing it too. And it's like, God damn,
late at night tweets.
You know, there's like the internet's forever. Somebody screenshotted what you just wrote here, my man.
People are,
yeah,
and they, you know, I mean, Jimmy shows up with receipts,
he
all
does.
the time.
Yeah, they don't
so
like
it's,
that.
I think it's a reverse grift, guys. It's the old reverse grift. You call somebody, you grift by calling people grifters.
Yeah.
That's how you grift.
Projection.
It's the reverse grift. They just do it. If you look at guys like David Miano, and every time he posts about like alt history, his numbers go through the roof.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a game. I say don't feed those guys.
Yeah, I
man.
agree
Don't
with
feed
that.
those trolls. Don't even look at them.
That's what I've started doing the last couple of months, was just stopped engaging with any of that. I never really did before. But finding my way back to just posting about traveling to these sites and the wonder and the amazement of like going and visiting these places has kind of dropped me off the radar somewhat. I still get mentioned in comments with some of this, and I'm like,
I've got to say,
I'm just here.
That's the funniest thing to me, because it's those memes where it's like, you're over there hating on me and I'm over here like this, and it's like some sort of really cute animal. Like, that's you are literally the meme. Like, people are over there hating on Michael Collins and he'd be like this. Like, literally the nicest guy on the internet. And
he's just booking his next plane flight to Thailand as you're arguing viciously against the internet.
Yeah.
But it's
keep
that way
shouting
with
at the
Graham
wall,
too,
guys.
right? Graham is the nicest guy ever, you know, and they do it to him.
Hey, I've been watching time, Mike. I know you've got to exit a little sooner than not, so feel free to if you need to hop off. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure sitting down with you guys. This has been absolutely amazing, and I'd love to do it again sometime.
All right,
absolutely.
We appreciate
you for joining us, Mike. You have a great rest of your day, and we will continue on with the show, and we'll see you in Scottsdale.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
see you there.
I just wanted to tell you guys that we are definitely not live on YouTube right now.
No,
I don't think.
There is some weird technical difficulties. I've been looking at it for like the past 20 minutes trying to figure out what the heck happened.
I don't think we did anything. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think this is our last time on Riverside. So, Riverside, you done fucked up, because we're not live right now, even though we should be. I pushed the live button. It says we're live on here.
We were live. Everyone was talking.
I see
in the chat.
a button
the chat
that
was
says
popping
live.
off. I say we finish it off.
Okay.
Yeah, let's finish it.
Cut this part, and then we upload it right away. But that sucks, huh?
I'm not cutting this, Dave. We're keeping this in. They need to know our complaints.
That's right.
They need to know that, hey, Worps about it. Worps is as upset as you guys are.
The people at Riverside, they are on notice.
Popping off. I want to mention the chat because you guys have been awesome today.
We love you.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
We do love you.
Even if you're not here now, we love you still.
It kind of takes it. Okay, I'm not going to lie, but just between I guess not just between us because we're posting this, but it kind of like loses a little bit of the spark, you know, of like fun.
It did.
It's not.
It
live.
did. It totally did.
We had watchers,
as soon
guys.
as I found out we weren't live, I was like, oh, we're not even live.
We're not even expeditionists now. We had all the watchers we could ever want, and it now look, it's just us.
Are we live on at Rumble or anything like that?
No.
Have you looked at that? No,
we didn't.
Oh well.
Oh, Lord.
That's all right. Well, hey,
let's do it.
Let's get back in here.
Yep.
Let's dive in on these topics. We don't have much left to get to, but I know our audience wants to hear about some of the rest of the stuff, and they definitely want to hear who's winning this comment contest. So now, officially, since this video is not live, drop a comment. Win this, not this one, because this is number one. This is going to a special person that I haven't
one of
figured
the
out
most
yet.
special.
I still, you know, maybe I'm saving it for Joe Rogan. Maybe I'm saving it to get to Joe if I ever make it on when I make it. When we.
Yes.
Well, the bet still stands. Should we cue in the audience of the bet?
Sure.
The first one to Rogan of the three of us buys the rest dinner. So
a nice dinner, a steak dinner,
fancy.
Like one of those $200 ones.
Yeah. I want to see the baby cow brought out in front of us and filleted right there on the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So we got a little bet going on, but we're all going to make it. We've all believe in ourselves. We believe in this channel, and we believe in what we're doing. So we're thankful for all of you guys that are down there supporting us. You guys are the best. Anyways, moving on here. Cody, tell us some wartime stories. My dude, what do you got?
So, wartime stories, I absolutely love his storytelling ability, his medium, the way that he does it. Giants, I'm always going to pursue historical accounts of giants. And his latest episode, well, not specifically about giants in the entirety of the episode, one of the stories that he has dug up from the past does seem to be specifically about a giant. So, producer Sam, if you could get that queued up for us.
It was probably 5 minutes after I first heard the rustling among the branches of the tree when some object fell to the ground with a thud. Instantly there was a cry of pain or terror from the sentinel under the tree, and I shouted to my men to rush forward. As we closed in, we could only see 2 forms struggling as if for life. I ordered my men to seize both, and as quickly as possible I made light. My picket was in the grasp of a giant. A man clothed in rags with long matted hair and beard had caught the soldier around the body and pinned his arms to the side. The strength of this strange being was that of a giant, and it was several minutes before my 10 men could completely overpower him. I built a fire and we dragged him to the light where he was securely bound.
So that comes from the Civil War, and very clearly the whatever it is that company of men had discovered upon, it was a very giant man and had the self-preservation or wherewithal or whatever we would consider it to have some sort of rudimentary clothing. So the idea of perhaps some of the holdout giants that the Native Americans encountered and wrote about and spoke about in quite a bit of detail. Perhaps by the time of the Civil War, there were still a few of those lingering around. So curious possibility, great storytelling. I recommend wartime stories as always.
Yeah, Cody, you're like our resident giant expert now. I love it. Just my ancestors keep me posted.
Trying to do you guys proud. I've got your great grandma's skull here preserved, keeping her safe. Puka Uma.
Generally, when it comes to giants, I start checking out, but then I start thinking Dr. Greg Little believes in giants.
He does.
I should believe in giants too. And to be fair, if anyone's 6'10" and up is a goddamn giant,
that's the thing. I think people hear giants a lot, and it's like, but when a majority of people, especially in the alternative space,
in hand-to-hand combat, a 6'10" man coming at you with a giant blade, he's a fucking giant.
Yes. And that's
I don't care.
the historical standard for giant is around 7 to 8 feet. So I mean, we're not talking 20-foot beings, just silly Titan giants. We're talking about just big ass dudes like Andre the Giant running at you, with a war club. So, could there have been a species? Neanderthals were bigger than us. Why is another Neanderthal-like hominid that was between 8 and 10 feet tall? Why is that out of the realm of possibility?
It's absolutely not.
Yeah, especially Homo habilis or whatever the hobbits. Right. So
something about like cryptids and stuff I start checking out, but I suppose giants you could kind of put into like a branch of hominid.
I put them in the lost hominid. Yeah, they're not cryptids in my book.
Based on what we know about, like, we just talked about this last week, how the fracture of Europe's ancient history and genealogy. So it's like could be a bunch of different things we don't know.
Stay curious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's very cool stuff. I love hearing about giants, but as much as I love hearing about giants, we're going to get into the realm of real weird because, whether there's some, I think there's much, actually, let me get you guys' take on this. I was about to make a bunch of statements that I just retracted them in my own head. What do you guys think is more likely that definitely existed? Giants or Atlantis? Dave, go.
Boom. Well, I think they both existed to some degree or another. And that brings into my next topic. First, my Atlantis rant. Okay, first off, it's my belief that Atlantis was not a one place or city. That's like calling our civilization New York. You know, like New York would be our whole civilization. That's crazy. I think the civilization that was Atlantis, that had the technology, that was seafaring, all yada yada, that built some of the shit that we can't explain, was global, and we'll find evidence of them everywhere. Number one. But Cody, I believe it was, showed a video earlier. Was it you, Cody, with the guy? Hold on a second. I'll find it. Yeah, the guy talking about what video did Cody show earlier? I'm brain farting on this. That was related to the exact same archaeologist. He helped Michael Donnellan. He fucking helped Michael Donnellan. Anyway, it don't matter. I don't remember his name. But either way, Michael Donnellan was mentored by the same guy who interpreted Plato for a video Cody played earlier.
Okay.
And he interpreted Plato for Michael Donnellan, and then they went out and used this radar, the same type of radar that the guy talked about in Cody's video. And they found some shit, and so they went diving off the coast of Cadiz in Spain. So at the Cosmic Summit this last year, they played a 90-minute like big reveal at the end where you saw the concentric circles talked about by Plato.
That's amazing.
At the end, but you were not allowed to video anything, so you cannot find these pictures anywhere. Okay. However, Sam, if you could pull up the first article, 12A. Let's take a look at an article that was written about the discovery. Now, this is a warning. There is no peer-reviewed paper yet. There's a docu-series in the making that is currently unavailable. These are the things they're finding off the coast of Cadiz, signs of structures and things like that. Keep scrolling. Go back up, sorry, just a little bit. Right there, up, down, sorry, my bad. Down. Yeah, right there. He says it came from outside the straits in the region known by the Greeks 2,400 years ago as Gades. We know that perfectly well to this day as Gades in the modern day Cadiz, which happens to be the oldest city in Western Europe. So if you could go ahead and play the new release Echoes of Atlantis video, please.
Echoes of Atlantis.
Echoes of Atlantis.
Here on the sun-drenched shores of Andalusia, the sea whispers stories older than empires. Beneath the rolling tides of the Atlantic lies a coastline that has witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. Rota, El Puerto de Santa Maria, two towns that today seem peaceful, modern, but their origins reach back thousands of years into the fogs of myth and the world of the ancient Greeks.
Rota, a strategic point guarding the entrance to the Bay of Cadiz, and to this day the location of military bases. But archaeological evidence suggests that these lands were inhabited long before the Roman legions or Moorish emirs ever set foot here. Its earliest chapters belong to the Tartessians, an enigmatic people of southwestern Iberia. They lived along the rivers and the sea. They traded metals, cultures, and stories with other civilizations across the Mediterranean. When Greeks sailed west in search of new markets and lands, they arrived here. They called these waters the Outer Sea, the gateway to the Pillars of Heracles. Greek merchants traded with local peoples, exchanging wine and olive oil for silver, tin, and copper. Over time, their myths intertwined with these shores.
Just across the bay, El Puerto de Santa Maria rises where the Guadalete River meets the sea. But this town, long before it carried a Christian name, was known to the Greeks as Menestei Portus, the port of Menesteus. According to legend, The Greek hero Menestheus sailed here after the Trojan War, founding a settlement at the edge of the known world.
This wasn't just a legend. Ancient Greek explorers and colonists knew Iberia. They mapped it, they traded with it, they settled along its coasts. When Plato wrote his dialogues, the Timaeus and Critias, the stories which gave birth to the legend of Atlantis, he did so in a world where southern Spain was no great fantasy. It was familiar, navigated coastline. Imagine it, ancient Athens, 400 BCE. Plato wrote of a vast and powerful maritime civilization that lay beyond the Pillars of Heracles, facing the Atlantic Ocean. That was no great mystery. People at the time knew he was talking about Iberia. He was talking about the lands around Cadiz. For someone at that time saying that Atlantis was situated beyond the Pillars of Heracles in the region of Gades was equivalent of somebody today saying that Atlantis was situated along the coast of Cadiz in southern Spain.
Rota and El Puerto de Santa Maria stand today as vibrant.
So he's basically interpreting Plato and saying that here it is, and then he's in the water and he's diving and he's finding structures. Is Cody frozen?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. So here's Cadiz, and he's finding structures. He's put together using their underwater surveys as well as their radar. And the dude's name is Tim Akers, by the way. Sorry for the brain fart earlier, but it was the Michael Button video that Aaron showed.
Oh, there we go.
And the dude's name is Tim Akers, who does the surveying as well as the interpreting of Plato. And at Cosmic Summit, guys, they showed 1/4 of the concentric circles. I believe I saw 3, maybe even 4 concentric circles. So here's what I'm doing here, guys. I'm challenging Michael Donnellan to come on the show, Breaking Ancient News, in the new year and break some ancient news right here. Did you find Plato's concentric circles? Let us know right here on Breaking Ancient News. You're welcome whenever you want. But it's
what better place to do it?
It's very interesting.
This is the place of places, Michael.
Yeah.
You want to drop it here, buddy.
Yeah.
So
Michael,
have you guys heard of this at all? Either you guys?
I've had it said to me when I posted a video a post on X a few weeks ago asking for people to tell me where they think Atlantis was, and we ran a poll. And I was only able to do 4 options. Spain was not on that option, but Spain was the number 1 commented place. They said, no, it's in Spain, it's in Spain, it's in Spain. And I was like, okay. So that's my only exposure to it. But now I'm seeing this, hearing that. That's sparking something.
Yeah. Before the Cosmic Summit, I had seen some of his work, and I'm definitely very intrigued by what he's stumbling on out there, because I agree with Dave's take. It was most likely a worldwide civilization and not just one single city touch point. And recurring architecture, the concentric rings, things like that, there's going to be hallmarks of a civilization. Like if my favorite style is Art Deco, if I set out around the world, I would build an Art Deco wherever I went. So why would any other civilization not do the same thing? So Spain being one of those places, I think he's really onto something there. So come drop it here, buddy. We're ready for you.
I think he's onto something. And that's like the oldest city in the world.
It's incredible.
Basically, like so why wouldn't why wouldn't it go back to the beginning of time?
Yep.
I don't know. And the thing is about Michael Donnellan is he can be controversial at times. Like even somebody we posted it last night. And somebody was like, "Really, Michael Donnellan?"
Oh wow.
Because a lot of times when you have the balls to basically say something that no one else is saying, people are gonna come after you. I at least have an open mind. I'm not shutting the door on them. I want to see the whole thing. What I hear is that they have the radar data that has all the concentric circles.
That's amazing.
They're slowly digging away on site.
That's fascinating.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you Michael. Yeah, Michael, come on the show. But, Dave and Michael, if that is the location where Atlantis actually is, you are going to upset one person in particular. I think more so than anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a great way to tie into our next segment here, because I think you would upset Jimmy Corsetti. Jimmy Corsetti, of course, is known as, the reshot structure over there, as that's his. I don't want to say
that's. We love
that's
you here on Breaking Ancient News, Jimmy.
Yes,
much love.
We would love you to come on here as well, buddy.
We love
Jimbo.
you, and we love featuring your stuff. We'd love to feature your videos, Jimmy. And if you're watching the show, which I hope you are, put out some more videos, because you are one of the GOATs, one of the best. But because we don't have any videos of you, now we get to feature the next best thing for you, which is the Twitter drama section. Because we, of course, know if it's not the Geopolymer folks, always Jimmy Corsetti is embroiled in some Twitter drama, be it calling out directors of archaeological sites or shaming archaeologists into turning their profiles on private. Jimmy Corsetti has always won for giving us some great entertainment there. But so let's pull it. He got into an interesting discussion here with Moundlore, and he's been, I think maybe we're at a tipping point here, and maybe you guys agree with me. I think we're at a little bit of a tipping point here with this Göbekli Tepe stuff.
Yes.
Where, yeah, it's maybe it's getting a little bit too much. Like, they got to install. Okay, they're installing some pathways. Okay, I could see their perspective of like, okay, the pathways, are probably going to impede access to it, to further archaeological excavations. But I think of the other side. I think of like, if the pathways make it more accessible to the stuff that's available right now, how many more people can you get paying for that site, getting in there? Obviously, they're going to take money, but they have to worry about like the progress of things going on right there. So I think it's getting to this like interesting tipping point where maybe people are just getting a little bit like, okay, let's let the archaeologists do a little bit of their thing, because they do kind of know what they're talking about. But let's read through these tweets here. I'll read through them, because Moundlore, actually, go scroll down a little bit real quick to the second one here, or that one right there. Scroll up a little bit so I can read it. Jimmy Corsetti said, constructing pathways on top of unexcavated ruins is funny. This is replying to Moundlore. And so Moundlore, he said, I'm sorry, but what a dipshit. You can't preach preservation one week and demand full excavation the next. That isn't protecting heritage. Every trench dug too soon erases the very data that proves what's real. Archaeology isn't a race, it's a responsibility. Let's scroll down a little bit more. We can find it, because this got into an interesting little discussion.
It did.
It said, I'm calling out pathways constructed on top of unexcavated ruins at Göbekli Tepe, and you're going out of your way to be rude and toxic. You're just an anonymous prick with some insecurity complex who spends his time insulting those who have done nothing wrong to you. Way to be.
Sam Urban jumping in there.
Yeah. Shout out to Sam. Thanks for coming on the show last week.
That's right, buddy.
Sam,
we love you.
Yeah. Scroll down there a little bit. We'll read.
Did you write this with AI? No one wants them to rush. It's a matter of priorities. UNESCO requested they update the site management plan in 2018. It's now 7 years later. Plenty of time for tourism, none for preservation. So yeah, this definitely it cascaded pretty quick. And then Moundlore was reposting illegitimate scholar. But I think we are getting to a point where now we are splitting hairs even amongst our own community. So the question I have for you guys is, where does one line of preservation end and a line of negligence begin? Because it's a very right. I mean, is there an actual start-stop point, or is this a pretty fluid system where it's a little bit of give and take from both? What are your guys' thoughts?
Go ahead, Dave. I'll let you start.
My thoughts are, for some of these sites, like, you do kind of have to have some tourism infrastructure and stuff, like, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And this is not. Like, I really appreciate the attention Jimmy's drawn to all this.
Because he made changes, no doubt.
For sure. But I'll close by saying, I wonder how much one gets paid by that kind of engagement when you say, fuck archaeologists for doing that to Göbekli Tepe once a week or whatever. Shout out to Jimmy, love you.
Yeah.
One of the goats.
You know, I think we got to consider a couple of things from the other side too. These people come from academia. They come from working in universities. Some of them have done on-site stuff, but most people are not. They're not like Indiana Jones or, Jurassic Park, where they're out there doing field work 95% of the time. It's not a movie like that. It's a lot of research. And I'm not saying that to disparage archaeology. I am not an academic. I do not have the capacity and how my brain functions to do those kinds of things. So hats off to those people that do that, pay attention to detail. And just like we talked about with Sam Urban last week, all the things that go into that, like documenting the frequency of human remains at a specific site based on where the bones are, based upon where the food remains, like all of those things that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit about that. But that is hugely, hugely important. So there's a lot of factors that go at play here. But I think one thing we also forget to realize is that the people that come from academia, and I know this because I have family members that come from academia, especially when they get these research grants, right? The window for these research grants is set. It is like, hey, we will fund you for 2 years or
And
for
minimal,
4 years or for 6 years, or whatever it is.
And it's not very
That's
much
how
money.
much you get. If you get everything completely done in that time frame, if you ramp through and finalize everything, guess what? You don't get any more funding. But from the perspective of a human perspective, looking for your own self-interest and your own self-preservation, if I was a person that wanted to ensure that I had financial stability for 10, 15 years, I would not rush through this excavation process. I would take my time. I would do it because there's nothing rushing you. Like, what is the pressing matter? Like, from their perspective, again, I'm playing devil's advocate. What's the rushing matter? That stuff's not going anywhere. And I've got a job. I get it. But now we get to view our perspective where we say, no, F you, there's cool shit under there, and we want to find out what it is.
I think it's a very nuanced topic. It really is. And I think people need to have a little bit of patience and compassion for the people actually with boots on the ground doing it. Because are there negligent things to call out, and should they be called out? Like the trees. Yes. When we're just
shade
putting
structures.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we're putting posts on top of what you can see as T-pillars down below, come on, guys. There's a site manager responsible for that. Make better decisions. But as far as the work that they're doing, if you guys are following the reports, there's actually stuff coming out of there every single week. Is it always exciting? No, it's not. But just 2 weeks ago, they found the face on a pillar that we've never seen before. So, I mean, like, they are doing their job. Call them out when they need to be called out. But I don't think throw Molotovs just for the sake of throwing Molotovs. But you know what? That's Jimmy's brand. That's what Jimmy does. That's why all of us became fans of Jimmy in the first place. It's why we're fans now. So keep doing that, Jimmy. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep them on their toes. But for the rest of us to just throw extra hater shade on what they're trying to do over there, I don't know that it's necessary or productive. Tell Lee Claire to dig more and tweet less. Stop giving him excuses to put down the shovel. And let those boys get to work, because they are doing some good stuff when they're actually doing their job. So hats off to both sides. Yeah, I just played the fence.
Well said, Cody. Well said. Well, I think folks that are sitting at home, we're almost wrapping up here. We only got a few more things to get through. Dave, did you have anything else you wanted to add in there?
Just that it's a good segue into, like, what the supporting the small-time archaeologist that no one's trying to hate on is we got a couple good quick hitters to end the episode on. Just little discoveries that add a little piece to the pie.
Yeah, I've got a cool one
let's
too.
Pull up a few articles. Dave's got 2 articles and Cody's got an article. So producer Sam, by the way, quick shout out. Sam, crushing it today.
Absolutely.
It's been like butter. It's been smooth. I haven't had to do anything.
Second
it's made my
time.
job, my life easy, and that is exactly what I want on somebody that's on my team. Thank you, Sam.
Yes, thank you. So are we looking at the ancient figurine there right now?
Yep.
Yeah, this is you with the ancient figurine, 8,000.
6,400 to 6,100 BC sandstone figurine. from the Mesolithic era. Yeah. So if you remember last week, we talked a little bit about some symbols, the Vincia symbols that were 5,500 years old, and some gold that was, from 5,500 BC, and some gold that was 4,600 BC. This is all like from the time known as the Chalcolithic, and they're fragmented, right? It's not the same technology, the same culture, stuff like that. But what we're seeing is small little pockets of high technology and high culture,
high class,
going further and further and further back in Europe. And it's very interesting to me. So that's just another one I just wanted to show you guys quick. And then
that's a good one. I missed that one.
I thought this was so dope. This next one's really cool. Let me pull it up myself too. So we all know Vikings reached Newfoundland, a long time ago. They were one of the first, if not the first, at least this iteration of civilization to make it. But these guys, so this title is cool. Vikings really did reach North America 1,000 years ago, and we know exactly when. A story of stars, trees, solar bursts, and Vikings. I'm like, wow, that's wild. What the hell could they be talking about? And so we all know about this site. I've always wanted to go, but what they did, and let me find it quick. I'm trying to find the exact how they do it. So they find a telltale isotopic rich tree ring that is dated to 993. So the next ring will be 994, the next will be 995, and so on. And they've dated this one based off of a tree all the way to 1,700. Wow. 1002 BCE, which is crazy.
Jeez, that is cool.
Or sorry, 1021. I'm sorry, 1021. But like the exact year. The exact year.
Yeah.
See, that's quality archaeology right there. Shout out to
just a few years before Dave was born.
Yeah, just a few years. Getting there. I am the old guy in the crew, so I'll take that occasionally.
I never would have thought that. You look like 10 years younger than me, Dave. I feel horrible about myself.
It's not because I haven't. It's not because I've taken good care of myself. But this is cool, right? This is real archaeology at work, right? This is like finding a bunch of. So they used like a bunch of, if you could, like solar bursts on tree rings,
That's
like
amazing.
to like date it to the exact year. And this site is really incredible. It's Vikings 1,000 years ago, literally 1,004 years ago, in Newfoundland. So I said BCE earlier. That was a mistake. But 1,004 years ago. That's crazy. So anyway.
That's amazing.
So that's in Canada, by the way.
Yes, sir.
For those that don't know Canadian geography, Newfoundland is in Canada. So that's before 500 years before Columbus. So again,
way before.
Yeah, shit keeps getting older.
Just getting older.
Yeah. Right down to the money, though. Like, that's crazy to me.
That is crazy. I love that they are starting to use actual scientific, out there methods like the dating of the tree rings, things like that, solar bursts. They need to be considering all these out of the box things so that it takes archaeology out of the realm of pseudoscience, where it's just pure speculation, and into the realm of actual science, where they're backing up their hypotheses with, actual data, like finding out how old it is because of the tree rings. So it's incredible. I love that.
Very cool stuff. Well, you got one little article there too for us, Cody. What do you got about an idol?
So
in Armenia?
We all love to think about lost civilizations, and the reality is there's probably a lot more lost civilizations than we can possibly comprehend, and even in areas we think we have pretty fleshed out. So I'll read some of this here. A mysterious idol just emerged from the earth. It may show the face of a forgotten god. An unidentified stone idol appeared in the earth as archaeologists excavated an ancient fortress in what is now Armenia. It is thought that the idol possibly represents a deity or an ancestor, shocker, shocker, though there is currently no further evidence supporting either identity. The stone chest found next to the idol may have had ritual purposes. Of course it did, and will soon be investigated for organic residues that may reveal evidence of offerings. So it's very fascinating that an entire culture, an entire civilization with gods we don't even know about yet, from what is 2,500 years ago. Okay, so lost civilizations, are they possible? Well, pow, there's one right in the middle of Armenia, a place that archaeologically speaking, we know quite a bit about. And here's a civilization that had its own culture, its own deities, its own language, that realistically we don't even know who the hell these people were, and they're from 2,500 years ago. So
that's 500 miles west of the figurine I showed you.
Yeah. So but geographically, not that far from areas
really.
that we have permeated quite a bit archaeologically speaking. So the fact that lost civilizations can pop up in areas already being swept, what about the areas that aren't? The Gobi, the Sahara, the Amazon, the possibilities of
ocean.
What's hiding in there. Yeah, the freaking oceans, not to even start there, Lord. The possibilities, they aren't just endless, they're probable. So it's very exciting to think about. We've not even touched anywhere close to finding what is to be found.
Less mystery, more history. That's what we want. We love it. There's a whole beautiful world out there, and all three of us are here because we love the mystery of it. We love the exploration aspect, and we hope that you guys down there in the comments feel the same, and these guys that are watching this video feel the same. We're running down on time here, so we always want to wrap up. And just a reminder to everybody, drop a comment. Tell us your most controversial take on this. Tell us that you hate Cody's hat or his mutton chops, or that you love Dave's poster, his I Want to Believe poster, or that I need to shave my head. Whatever you think. The top comment each week. I'm not going to guarantee that I will shave my head or that Cody will, get rid of his hat for the top comment.
0% chance.
Keeping the
you can try.
You can try, but you won't guarantee that, but you will guarantee to win this awesome hat here. So that's the only guarantee in life. There's no such thing as a free lunch, but there is such thing as a free hat. And all you got to do is enter a comment down below. But with that, Sam, let's pull it up here. Let's check out the winners from last week. Coming in at third place here, we've got, you're Arwen Bard. This is my good friend, Morgan. He's already won a hat before, so if you could just zoom in there for me, perfect. Thank you, Sam.
He was in the chat earlier today, too. Showed him out.
Great guy.
He was. So, Morgan, thanks for coming here. Morgan has been sent a hat, but it might have gotten lost in the mail somewhere because it has not arrived there in England. But, we'll get it to you eventually. He said, great video, guys. Really cool topics today and love the input from Sam, too. I must admit, I did giggle when Sam was going off about Judeo-Christian God. To be fair to a Church of England school when I was young, I went to a Church of England school when I was young and learned that Yahweh Jewish tradition was the same God from the Bible. After all, the Old Testament is literally just the Torah and the God of the Old Testament. That was, looks like I cut it off there. That was Morgan with comment number, the third best comment with 10 likes. Thanks, Morgan. I think tied, actually, with another 10-like comment is second place here. So I guess tied for second.
Yeah, tied for second sounds better than third, so.
Tied for second. Ooh, Shaman. You son of a bitch.
What's up, Jason?
What's up, Jason? Send Rubate the hat. Good show, gentlemen. And much to my regret, my wallet's regret, but we're going to do what we can because we love you fans. Pull up that top comment for us.
And we love Rubate, dude. Don't we? Rubate deserves a hat.
Where's
all right? Rubate needs
with
a hat.
Total of 15 total likes. Down there from the great down under, Rubate 4126 says, great show. Actually, first I've seen most of live. Huge improvement on the first view. Smoother. Everyone more relaxed. Keep up the good work. keep up the great comments. Keep up the great support, Rubate. We're going to send you a hat. I'm going to get it in the mail to you. I don't know when it'll get there. I hope it arrives. They usually make you pay tariffs at the post office, both you and me, so sorry about that in advance. Not my fault. But, Rue, you're getting a hat. It's getting to you across the world from the land down under. You know, throw it on a Rue and take a picture for us and send it back because we want to feature it on the show.
Hey, and check out his Archaeonauts series on X. It's really good stuff. He's so funny. So yeah, shout out to Rue. Good job, buddy. And if we have any fans from Zimbabwe or any other realistic, just the most out there corners of the earth, I need you to drop some fire-ass comments down below.
Fans in Boise, Idaho, you get a hand delivered with a handshake and a high five. So you get bonus if you are in Boise, Idaho. Or if you want to wait until Scottsdale, you can also get it hand delivered with a handshake and a high five.
Hey, I'm giving away $500 value, 2 tickets to Quest for Ancient Civilization Conference. In order to be entered, all you got to do is donate any amount at all to Raul's GoFundMe. Link's going to be below. Let's support small-time creators like Raul and like us. So please like and share and subscribe to us. We really appreciate all that stuff and all that support. So thanks.
I'll be doing a giveaway in the coming week as well. So stay tuned because mine, all you got to do is share out the promo for Scottsdale. So keep it tuned to the East End Outpost for your chance to win a ticket there as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. You guys, everybody else that's watching at home, you guys have a great rest of your day. We love you. Stay awesome, stay engaged, and keep watching Breaking Ancient News. We'll see you later.